So my friend Grace has another video request talking about where your saliva comes from. Let's talk about that, but also I'll do you one better and let's talk about a bunch of different glands that secrete things. So you actually have 3 different salivary glands. First, you have the sublingual gland, which is directly under your tongue on either side of it. And we also have the submandibular gland, which is right under your jaw here. Both of them secrete saliva from special cells that come up and enter underneath your jaw, under your tongue. You also have the parotid gland, which is right under your ears, and it kind of enters downward by around your top molars area. So saliva has a few different functions in the mouth and stuff. It helps with lubrication and just getting everything all chewed up and easy to swallow down, as well as having digestive enzymes in it, which help break down things right at the start of the digestive tract. You also have 3 different cell types within your salivary glands, all of which kind of work together to produce the saliva. And what your saliva is made of is almost entirely water, but also has a few different types of proteins, including those digestive enzymes and a couple different salts and things. Next up, we have sweat glands. So these are located all over the outer layer of skin, but there's a higher concentration of them on areas that typically get sweaty, such as the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet, the armpits, and groin area. So we have in blue here what is called the eccrine or eccrine, I'm not entirely sure, sweat gland. That is where the sweat is produced, and it goes up that little blue tube out a pore onto the surface of the skin. Again, sweat is made mainly of water, but can also have some dissolved salts and some fats secreted out with it. So the main function of sweat is to release heat and maintain your body at a temperature it wants to be at. Oh my gosh. So it does this by secreting excess water out onto the surface of the skin, and as the water evaporates, it has a cooling effect, which helps maintain your body at a good temperature. Up next, we have tears. So tears aren't actually produced in the corner of your eye, which I'm pretty sure lots of people think that's where they are. They're actually produced kind of up right here in what is called the tear gland or the lacrimal gland. So the tears are actually produced up here, and then they kind of go down here through tubes, and they drain out of those little holes, which are called puncta. And as you blink, it gets spread around your eyeball and lubricates your eyes. You also have this thing over there, which is kind of right here, which is known as the lacrimal sac, which basically acts as a reservoir for excess tears. So if you're crying a lot, it will act as a reservoir, which is kind of why you get all puffed up when you cry a lot. And also, I'm pretty sure it drains down into the nose, so that's also kind of why you get a runny nose when you're crying a lot. So most of the stuff we've talked about, tears are made out of mostly water, but also contain things like oils, other fats, proteins, and salts. And they function to keep your eyes just moist and lubricated, and also protect from things like dust. So if you get dust in your eyes start to water a little bit, and it eventually flushes it out, so no problem. Of course, we also have to give an honorary mention to goblet cells, which line the digestive and respiratory tract, and their purpose is to secrete mucus. Mucus has a number of functions within the respiratory and digestive system, including helping things move down, staying lubricated, and kind of protecting the walls of your lungs and digestive tract from damage, as well as in the stomach specifically, neutralizing acid. So, your stomach acid is pretty strong, and you don't really want it to be in contact with your epithelial cells, or it'll start digesting them. We don't want that. It also just helps move things along smoothly throughout your systems and makes the surface nice and moist to facilitate gas exchange in the respiratory system and nutrient absorption in the digestive system. And finally, this is for educational purposes, TikTok don't come for me, we have the mammary glands. So mammary glands are actually present in both males and females. Just in males, they aren't as well developed due to hormone things, but theoretically. So mammary glands, their entire function is to secrete milk for nutrition for infants. So the milk is produced in those kind of little ground beef looking bits. So those are called the mammary lobules, and each of those has a bunch of mammary alveoli, which are responsible for just synthesizing and secreting the milk. When the milk is ready, it goes out through those tubes, like the ducts and the ampulla there, and it is released for the infant to drink. So again, the milk secreted here is mainly water, but it is less of a concentration of water and more other stuff, specifically because it is for nutrition of infants. So in the water, it has suspended things such as fats, proteins, carbs, and minerals in it. So yeah, there's a bunch of glands, what they produce, and what their functions are. Well, you're welcome, Grace.